Too much freedom can actually ruin a country. Yes, sirree. I'm not freaking blind, guys. It's Gweilo style. I think it's Thursday. You could die. Yeah. Son of a bitch. Geez, you know? Oh yeah, because it goes on and on and on. For all you haters, there's something to chew on for the next couple of... Welcome back to the Gweilo 60 channel. You can see in my background here, this is a Sunday afternoon down in the Chaoyang area of Nanning City, Guangxi Autonomous Region in southern China. And there's people everywhere. Let me do a 360 for you, just to let you know what's going on. And this is about 2:30 in the afternoon on a Sunday afternoon. Tomorrow I head off to Manila, and then the next day I'm in Tacloban on Leyte Island. So I'm starting to travel a little bit more now again. Yeah, it's in my nature. I get itchy feet, but that's not what this video is about. Too much freedom actually can ruin a country, and you can see it in the United States and Canada, where people, you know, when I get the comments on my channel all the time saying, you know, I could go out in front of the Prime Minister's house or the President, the White House in the United States, and scream at the top of my lungs, you're an asshole, and nothing will happen to me. And you think to yourself, well, how is that going to help you in your daily life? How is that going to make crime go away? How is that going to make people safer on the streets of your city, your state, your province, your country? Well, it's not. It's I can walk down the street. What is freedom? You know, and I think freedom has something to do with being able to do whatever you want. Great rail, wherever you want, whenever you want. But when you get too much freedom, when too much freedom comes your way, then God, well, you can see what happens in some of the Western countries, because you can walk into a store and steal whatever you want and you won't be prosecuted. You can set up a tent in Central Park, along Laguna Beach in Southern California. You can do whatever you want. You can do drugs on the streets of America and Canada, and the police won't even look twice at you. And what's that going to do for the neighborhood, the people that are doing the drugs, the children that are seeing this happen, and with no repercussions? And people say, well, that's freedom. Well, in China, they don't have that kind of freedom. You can't do drugs on the street. If you get caught with drugs, you could get the death penalty. If you steal from a store, they will throw your ass in jail. And if you do a violent crime, it could cost you your life. If you kill somebody in China, chances are the same thing will happen to you. So maybe when you talk about freedom and how free it is in the United States, maybe you're taking it just a little bit too far, guys. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that China's not free, because we have freedom to walk around on the street and have a reel or a beer or whatever you want to drink. We have the freedom to walk home at 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, knowing that it's safe enough outside that you can do it. Even if you're a beautiful, say, 25-year-old white female that's visiting from, let's go Sweden, because Swedish girls are hot, then you're as safe as if you're in your own living room here in China, because of their strict rules and the punishment that would bestow them if they attacked you, if they robbed you, if they raped you, if they killed you. Then they would be looking at a lot of time in jail, or it could cost them their life. So when you talk about freedom in the Eastern world here in China, and not just China, you see, you get caught with drugs in Singapore, you get caught doing violent crimes in Singapore, and this is one of the freest places in the world, according to so many surveys. Even Hong Kong is one of the freest. See, Hong Kong is China too. But they have the same rules and regulations and laws and stuff in place. You get caught chewing gum in Singapore, you get I think it's $1,000 American dollar fine. You get caught chewing gum twice, it's $2,000. You know what I mean? So too much freedom makes a society a weak and degenerate society, and you've seen that over and over and over again. I'm not looking at this pretty girl that's walking down the street. No, I wasn't. But the freedom to watch pretty girls walk down the street. And there's so many of them here. It's just, this is an amazing country. And you can see there's thousands and thousands of people on the street. Look at the e-bikes, like seriously, look at all of the e-bikes. And the other street is even worse with e-bikes. I had a hard time finding a place to park. And then you can double park and you can get out of your vehicle, and the freedom to just double park and get out of your vehicle and just put your flashers on. And people will just go around you. They have rules and regulations, they have laws. You're not allowed to do this, but they don't persecute people or prosecute people for this in China. They have more tolerance when it's something that really doesn't make a lot of difference to your regular person. It doesn't hurt anybody else. Maybe it's an inconvenience and they see that. But in the United States, there's a ticket. Oh, it's just a way to make money. You know what I mean? But the United States and Canada are freer countries than China because they can't take it to the limit. You don't get the death penalty for dealing drugs. Sure, if you're dealing drugs, you're killing people. But that's okay because the government sanctions that and says, well, you know, those poor drug addicts, it's a sickness. Here, there are no sick people. Well, I'm sure there's drug addicts in China, and I'm sure there's drug sales in China. I'm sure there's murders and there's assaults and there's all of those things in China. And but it's not like it is in the Western world. See, that's the difference here. I can walk down the street. Anybody can walk down the street. And even children can walk down the street at 1 o'clock in the morning, and they're not worried about getting accosted. Why? Because it's safe here. Their rules and regulations and their laws make it so it is a safe place to be. Why? As I said before, because they have extreme punishment for doing wrong here. So, too much freedom can make it dangerous for your law-abiding citizens in your country. What happens to you in the United States if you kill somebody? Actually, my dad used to be a parole officer in Canada, and he had one guy that beat another guy and killed him for a case of beer, and it was considered manslaughter. They're both drunk and whatever. He got 4 years in jail. So somebody that will beat you to death gets 4 years in jail, probably out in 2 or 2.5 years. Here, chances are you would never get out of jail, or if you did get out of jail, it would be in a pine box. So those things don't happen. Why? I was not looking at that pretty girl. My goodness, God. Life is different over here. I lost my train of thought. Oh. Also, I think freedom is a state of mind. You know, if you're living in the land of the free and the home of the brave, the United States, and you actually believe that, well then, that's okay. I don't have any problem with that. Patriotism in any country is, I think, a good thing. You should back your country and try to make it the best you possibly can. Canada, well, as soon as you get rid of Trudeau, I guess it'll probably be better for the majority of the population. But when they erode the legal system, when they try to defund the police in places like San Francisco and Seattle and Tacoma and Los Angeles, well, then you're taking away the people that protect you from the bad guys. And then nobody has any freedom, do they? Here, the police don't even carry guns. Well, not all of the police. They have some federal police that carry guns. And big guns. When the security people show up at the bank with a whole bunch of money, they're carrying sawed-off shotguns, I'm telling you. So there are guns here in China, but your regular police don't carry guns because they don't have to. Why? Because there is no violence here. And if there is violence, it's night violence. So there's really no reason for them to carry guns. I've been to some pretty scary places in China, and back a number of years ago, I went with Andy Kwan from the Great Buffet of China and Wei Fong to Kunming, and we ended up in a hotel in sort of a seedy area of the city, and Andy was a little bit afraid of the area, and there was a big police presence, and there wasn't a lot of freedom there. And you see, that's what I'm getting at. If people are afraid to go out, if people aren't comfortable in their community, if people are scared of their neighbors, if people are scared to walk down the street, well then I guess they don't have that freedom that they've been talking about in the United States. And you see it in Chicago. What is it, July 4th? There was over 300 shootings on one day in Chicago on July 4th. Well, it's supposed to be a celebration of the country's birthday on July 4th, Independence Day or whatever the hell it is. And see, if you drive a Mercedes-Benz, you can park in the middle of the street, put your blinkers on, and you have the freedom to do that here in Nanning, at least in Nanning, China. I don't think this would float in Shanghai or Beijing, Guangzhou or Shenzhen, but hey, whatever, you know what I mean? But where was I? So walking down the street in Kunming, it was a bit scary, and because I'm a lot larger and stuff, he was sort of cowering behind me or beside me, but the thing is that there's never a perfect place in the world, and China isn't perfect in itself. And a lot of people give me shit for saying, well, geez, you make China look like it's the best place in the world. No, it's got its problems too, but it doesn't have the problems. You know, I've showed you homeless people. I've showed you the Hawk 2 videos and stuff like that. People with the kids shitting on the street and stuff. I've shown you all of these things. But then I still get lambasted by the trolls saying, well, geez, you only show the good things about China, not the bad things. But one of the things that I have to tell you is China has more freedom than the United States and Canada put together, just for the fact that it's safe here. You can walk down the street with a beer. You don't have to worry about things. Life is not expensive. The world works in different ways over here. Oh, the girls are beautiful. Did I tell you that? Well, I suppose I probably did. Probably 2 or 3 times in this one video. But when you get too much freedom in the United States, when you get too much freedom in Canada, you get tent cities, you get drug addicts, you get violence, you get jails that are full of people. You get politicians that won't put people in jail anymore because it costs too much money. Once that erodes, once the drug addiction takes over, once they don't care anymore whether they go to jail or not, well then the system starts to break down, and the system is there to protect you, to protect your freedom, to protect your safety and your family's safety. And I think that's what you're seeing in the Western world right now, is that freedom has eroded into chaos, and it's a scary situation. Everything's getting more expensive. People can't afford to buy a home. there's more despair, there's more drug abuse, there's more homeless people, there's more tent cities, there's more violence, there's more because they've given the people the freedom to do shit like that, and a certain percentage of your population will take advantage of that and spiral into the no-go zone. And that's just the way it is. In China, it's the exact opposite. The Chinese government doesn't allow that. They'll never allow that. And what is this little unit here? How cute is that? A little BMW. Oh, good damn. And then a little electric vehicle. That electric vehicle is probably worth about 3,500 Canadian dollars. And they're on the street, they're everywhere. But they have more freedom here. What I'm saying is they have more freedom here because it's a safer society. It's a better society. It's a cleaner society. And the West could learn a lot from China and the Chinese people, because, wow, look around you guys. Like, seriously, you can park your e-bikes on the street and nobody cares. You can walk down the street and nobody cares. You can drink a beer on the street and nobody cares. But you know what? You can't do drugs on the street. You can't hurt another person. Violence is not something that is tolerated here. You can't set up tents on the street, or else they'll shoo you away. Sure as hell can't have politicians that condone that type of behavior in China. So it makes the Chinese people have more freedom than the Western people. And that, my friends, is another video from downtown Nanning, China on see, I lost my train of thought again. My God, I don't know why that happens, but it does. That's another video from Gweilo 60. If you like this video, as always, like, comment, subscribe, push that share button. Don't forget to resubscribe, hit the bell, and until next time, peace out. Rio out. Bye now. And then after a hard day of making videos for all you people out there in what they call the real world, I sit back and I drink a Rio in one of my favorite communist convenience stores. Yes, communist convenience stores here in mainland China that oppress and suppress everybody because it is the way it is. Freedom is a state of mind. Freedom is something that means something different to different people. If you want to own guns, well, then the United States is freer. If you want to walk down the street and be safe, well, then China's freer. If you want to not pay property tax, China's freer. If you want to be able to scream at your government and call them all types of nasty words, well, then the United States and Canada are freer. So I guess it all depends on what you want to do, and I've picked China because in my world, I think freedom is safety first for not only me, but my family and friends. So be it. If you don't agree with me, comment below. And that's all I have to say about this. Oh, is that a Rio? $2, tall boy, 8%. My God, and they taste good. And it's raining outside. I have the freedom to sit in the rain and drink a Rio in mainland China at a communist convenience store in Nanning, China. Wow, what a concept.